It was a normal Tuesday morning when the sky turned red. People all over Earth looked up, confused and scared. Something big was happening, but no one knew what. In New York, Sarah was walking to work. She stopped when she saw everyone staring at the sky. "What's going on?" she asked a man next to her. He just pointed up, his mouth open. Sarah looked up and gasped. The red sky was full of strange shapes. They were huge and dark, like nothing she had ever seen before. "Are those spaceships?" she whispered. Suddenly, a loud noise filled the air. It was so strong that Sarah had to cover her ears. Windows in nearby buildings started to shake. Some even broke. A voice boomed from the sky. It spoke in a language no one understood. But the message was clear. Earth was under attack. In Washington, D.C., the president was rushed to a safe room. "What do we know?" he asked his advisors. They looked worried. "Sir, it's a global invasion," one advisor said. "These aliens are all over the world. They're attacking major cities." The president's face turned pale. "How? Why? We've never even met aliens before." In space, aboard the biggest alien ship, two leaders talked. They were tall, with blue skin and 4 arms each. Their names were unpronounceable in human languages. "Earth will fall quickly," the first alien said. "These humans are primitive. They don't even have space travel." The second alien nodded. "The Galactic Council was right to order this attack. Earth has resources we need, and humans are too dangerous to be left alone." Back on Earth, chaos spread. In London, people ran as alien ships shot strange beams at buildings. The beams made things disappear. In Tokyo, giant robot-like machines dropped from the ships. They walked through the streets, crushing cars and scaring people. Military bases all over Earth tried to fight back. Jets took off, missiles were fired. But nothing seemed to work. The alien ships had strong shields. Earth's weapons couldn't hurt them. In a small town in Brazil, Maria watched the news with her family. "Why are they doing this?" her son asked. Maria hugged him tight. "I don't know, honey, but we'll be okay." The aliens thought humans would give up fast. They were wrong. In New Delhi, a group of students used their phones to organize a resistance. They shared information about alien movements and helped people hide. In Cape Town, a bus driver used his vehicle to rescue people trapped by alien attacks. He drove through dangerous areas, picking up as many as he could. Scientists around the world started working together. They shared data about the aliens, trying to find a weakness. As the first day of the invasion ended, things looked bad for Earth. Many cities were damaged. Millions of people were scared and homeless. But something was happening that the aliens didn't expect. Humans weren't giving up. They were getting angry. They were starting to fight back in their own ways. In his safe room, the U.S. president made a call to other world leaders. "We need to work together," he said. "This isn't about countries anymore. It's about all of us, all of humanity." For the first time in history, countries that were once enemies agreed. They would fight together against the alien threat. As night fell, the aliens thought they were winning. They didn't know that humans were just getting started. They didn't understand human spirit, human creativity, or human determination. The Galactic Council had made a big mistake. They thought Earth would be an easy target. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Sarah in New York looked at the alien ships in the sky. She was scared, but she was also determined. "We won't let them win," she said to herself. "This is our home." All over the world, millions of people had the same thought. The aliens might have advanced technology, but humans had something special. They had the will to survive, to protect their home, and to fight against all odds. The galactic invasion had begun, but Earth's counterattack was coming, and it would shock the entire galaxy. 2 weeks after the invasion began, the aliens were confused. They had expected an easy victory. Instead, they faced stubborn resistance everywhere they went. In a secret underground lab in Switzerland, Dr. Amelia Chen stared at an alien device. Her team had captured it during a raid. "This is incredible," she said, her eyes wide with excitement. Her colleague, Dr. Hassan, looked up from his computer. "What did you find?" Amelia pointed to a tiny part of the device. It's not just advanced. It's impossible. At least it should be." Hassan came closer to look. His jaw dropped. "But that breaks all known laws of physics." Amelia nodded, a small smile on her face. "Exactly. And if we can figure out how it works." Meanwhile, in the ruins of Chicago, a group of teenagers huddled in an abandoned building. They were part of a growing network of human spies. "The big ships always appear here, here, and here," said Emma, pointing to a hand-drawn map. "They follow a pattern." Her friend Jake nodded. "Good work. I'll pass this to the military. They can plan their attacks better now." Across the ocean, in the Australian outback, something strange was happening. A group of Aboriginal elders sat in a circle, their eyes closed in deep concentration. Nearby, an alien scout ship suddenly lost control. Its systems went crazy, and it crashed into the ground. The aliens inside were shocked. How could this happen to their perfect technology? They didn't know that the elders were using ancient spiritual techniques, somehow interfering with the alien tech. It was a mystery that even the humans didn't fully understand. In orbit around Earth, the alien commander was getting frustrated. He slammed his 4 hands on the control panel. "How is this possible?" he shouted. "These primitives shouldn't be able to resist us." His second-in-command looked worried. "Sir, we've lost contact with several ground teams. And our energy shields, they're not working as well as they should." The commander's eyes narrowed. "What do you mean?" It's like the humans are learning how to bypass them. But that's impossible." "Right." Back on Earth, in a hidden military base in Russia, General Sokolov looked at the latest reports. For the first time in days, he smiled. "Look at this," he said to his team. "The aliens are slowing down. They're confused." A young soldier spoke up. "Sir, is it true? Are we really reverse engineering their tech?" Sokolov nodded. "Not just us. Scientists all over the world. It's amazing how fast we're learning." In Japan, a group of gamers had an idea. They used their skills to hack into alien communication systems. Now they were feeding false information to the invaders. "They fell for it again," cheered Yuki, high-fiving her friends. "Another alien ship sent to the middle of the ocean." Her friend Kenji laughed. "Who knew all those hours of gaming would save the world?" In Brazil, farmers found a new use for their crops. They discovered that a common local plant interfered with alien sensors. Now fields that looked empty to the aliens were full of hidden human fighters. The alien leaders were starting to realize their mistake. They had thought humans were simple and weak. But humans were proving to be incredibly creative and adaptable. In New York, Sarah, from Part 1, was now leading a resistance group. They moved through underground tunnels, avoiding alien patrols. "Remember," she told her team, "we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for all of humanity." As they emerged into the ruins of the city, they saw an alien ship overhead. But this time, they didn't run. Sarah pulled out a strange-looking device, a mix of human and alien tech. "Let's show them what humans can do," she said with a grin. The device powered up. Suddenly, the alien ship's engines sputtered and died. It fell from the sky, crashing into an empty area. All around the world, scenes like this were playing out. Humans were learning, adapting, and fighting back in ways the aliens never expected. In his safe room, the U.S. president received a call. "Sir," said a general, "you need to see this. We're turning the tide." For the first time since the invasion, the president felt hope. Humanity's hidden strength was finally showing itself, and the Galactic Council was about to learn a hard lesson about underestimating Earth. 1 month into the invasion, Earth was still standing. The aliens were losing their confidence. Humans were proving to be much tougher than anyone expected. In a bustling lab in Mumbai, India, Dr. Priya Patel stared at her computer screen. Her eyes were red from lack of sleep, but they sparkled with excitement. "I think I've done it," she whispered. Then louder, "I've done it." Her team gathered around. "What is it?" Dr. Patel asked her assistant, Raj. Priya pointed to a complex diagram on her screen. "I've cracked the alien shield technology. We can disable their defenses." The news spread like wildfire. Within hours, world leaders were in an emergency meeting. Meanwhile, in orbit, the alien commander was having a bad day. "What do you mean? Another ship lost?" He yelled at his subordinate. The subordinate cowered. "Sir, the humans, they're fighting back harder than ever. And our shields, they're failing in some areas." The commander's face turned a deeper shade of blue. Impossible. How could these primitives? An alarm blared, cutting him off. On the main screen, they watched in horror as a human missile, previously harmless, pierced through their shields and destroyed a ship. Back on Earth, in Washington, D.C., the U.S. president stood before a group of world leaders on a secure video call. "Dr. Patel's breakthrough changes everything," he said. "But we need to work together. All of us." On the screen, the Chinese president nodded. "Agreed. Our scientists have been working on weapons using alien tech, combined with this shield-breaking technology." The Russian president chimed in. "Our special forces have captured several alien ground units. We can use them." For the first time in history, countries set aside all their differences. The entire world united against a common enemy. In New York, Sarah, from earlier parts, led her team through the ruins. They carried new weapons, a mix of human ingenuity and alien tech. "Remember the plan," she said. "We're the distraction. Give the military time to launch the big attack." Her team nodded. They were scared, but determined. As one, they activated their devices. Suddenly, alien communicators all over the city went crazy. False signals popped up everywhere. Alien troops scrambled in confusion. High above, the alien ship's sensors went haywire. They couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. In the chaos, the real attack began. Military jets, now equipped with alien-derived tech, streaked across the sky. Missiles loaded with Dr. Patel's shield-breaking technology launched from hidden silos. For the first time, the aliens felt fear. Their invincible ships were no longer safe. One by one, alien ships began to fall. Some crashed into the ocean. Others went down over empty deserts or fields, thanks to careful human planning. In London, people cheered as they watched an alien ship fall from the sky. In Tokyo, tears of joy streamed down faces as another crashed into the bay. The alien commander watched in disbelief as his fleet was decimated. "Retreat," he finally yelled. "Full retreat." But it was too late. The humans had planned for this. Hidden satellites, quickly built and launched in secret, activated a planet-wide energy field. The alien ships trying to flee found themselves trapped. In the White House Situation Room, the president watched the events unfold. "We've turned the tide," he said softly. His general nodded. "Yes, sir. It's not over, but this is definitely the turning point," the president finished. As night fell, the world celebrated. For the first time since the invasion began, hope loomed everywhere. Humans had proved that they were not just worthy opponents. They were a force to be reckoned with. In Mumbai, Dr. Priya Patel stepped out of her lab for the first time in days. She looked up at the sky, now filled with falling alien ships instead of invading ones. "We did it," she said, tears in her eyes. "We really did it." The Galactic Council had made a grave mistake. They had awakened a sleeping giant. Earth wasn't just fighting back. It was about to take the fight to the stars. The turning point had come, and the galaxy would never be the same. 2 months after the turning point, Earth was a different place. The skies, once filled with alien ships, now buzzed with human vessels built using reverse-engineered technology. In a secret facility deep under the Rocky Mountains, Commander Jack Harper looked at the gleaming spaceship before him. It was Earth's first true starship, named Hope. "Is she ready?" he asked the chief engineer. The engineer nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "Yes, sir. Hope can take us to the stars." Meanwhile, in orbit, Sarah, from earlier parts, floated in zero gravity, looking down at Earth. She was part of the first human space station built with alien tech. "It's beautiful," she said, her voice filled with awe. Her teammate, Yuki from Japan, nodded. "Hard to believe just months ago we were fighting for survival down there." Suddenly, alarms blared. A voice came over the intercom. "Battle stations. Alien fleet approaching from deep space." On Earth, in the Global Defense Headquarters, screens lit up with warnings. The president looked at his advisors. "They're back. Is Earth ready?" General Sokolov, from Part 2, stepped forward. "More than ready, sir. It's time to show them what humanity can really do." As the alien fleet approached, they expected to find a weakened, cowering planet. Instead, they faced an armada of Earth ships, a mix of captured alien vessels and new human designs. The alien commander's jaw dropped. Impossible. How did they advance so quickly? Before he could react, Earth's fleet sprang into action. Ships that had once seemed primitive now danced between stars, firing weapons that cut through alien defenses like paper. In the lead was Hope, with Commander Harper at the helm. "All ships, engage. Let's take the fight to them." The battle was fierce but short. Earth's ships, powered by human determination and enhanced alien tech, overwhelmed the invaders. As alien ships exploded or fled, cheers erupted across Earth and its new orbital stations. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had won its first space battle. But Earth wasn't done. Harper's voice crackled over the comms. "All ships, prepare for deep space jump. We're taking the fight to their home turf." Using data stolen from alien computers, Earth's fleet made its first faster-than-light jump. They appeared near a major alien outpost, catching the Galactic Council completely off guard. On a Council space station, alarms blared. A blue-skinned alien rushed into the control room. "Sir, we're under attack." The Council leader stared in disbelief at the screens showing Earth ships. How? How did they find us? How did they get here so fast?" Back on Hope, Harper grinned. "Fire at will. Show them what happens when you mess with Earth." Earth's surprise attack was devastating. The outpost fell quickly, giving humanity its first foothold in alien territory. As news of the victory spread, celebrations erupted across Earth. In New York, now mostly rebuilt, people danced in the streets. In Mumbai, Dr. Priya Patel watched the news with tears of joy. "We did it," she whispered. "We're out there among the stars." In Beijing, scientists who had worked tirelessly to adapt alien tech hugged each other, their differences forgotten in the face of this monumental achievement. But it wasn't just celebration. Earth was changing. New industries sprung up overnight. Schools started teaching alien languages and xenobiology. The whole planet was gearing up for its new role in the galaxy. In Africa, massive shipyards rose from what had been empty savanna. In South America, new plants cultivated using alien agricultural techniques promised to end world hunger. As Earth's fleet returned home, they brought with them captured alien leaders. It was time for humanity to dictate terms. In a globally televised event, the president addressed the world and their alien prisoners. "Today marks a new era for Earth. We are no longer alone, no longer vulnerable. We are a force in the galaxy." He turned to the alien leaders. "You came to conquer us. Instead, you've awakened a sleeping giant. Now let's talk about Earth's terms for peace." The aliens, once so confident in their superiority, could only stare in shock. They had come to enslave a primitive world. Instead, they had created a new superpower. As night fell on this historic day, people across Earth looked up at the stars with new eyes. They were no longer distant points of light. They were new frontiers, full of challenges and opportunities. Earth had not just survived. It had emerged stronger, united, and ready to take its place among the stars. The galaxy would never be the same again. 6 months after Earth's counterattack, the Galactic Council was in chaos. The Grand Hall, usually a place of order and control, now echoed with shouting and arguments. Zix-Zax, the blue-skinned leader of the council, banged his gavel. Order. We must have order. Slowly, the noise died down. Zix-Zax looked around the room, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly. We are here to discuss the human situation. A tall, tentacled alien stood up. Situation. It's a disaster. These humans have taken 3 of our outposts already. Another council member, a small furry creature, spoke up. We should never have attacked them. Look what they've done in just a few months. Meanwhile, on Earth, the United Earth government was in session. Representatives from every nation sat together, discussing their next move. The president looked at the holographic map showing Earth's new territory in space. We've made incredible progress, but we can't get overconfident. Dr. Priya Patel, now Earth's chief of alien technologies, nodded. Agreed. The Galactic Council still outnumbers us. We need to be smart about this. Back in the council chambers, the debate raged on. Some wanted to launch a full-scale war against Earth. Others argued for immediate peace talks. Zix-Zax listened to all sides, feeling the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. Finally, he spoke. We have 2 options. We can escalate this conflict, potentially destroying both sides, or we can negotiate. A reptilian alien hissed in disagreement. Negotiate. With primitives who got lucky. Lucky? Zix-Zax replied. They reversed our shield technology in weeks. They built a space fleet in months. This is not luck. This is unprecedented. In Earth orbit, Commander Jack Harper stood on the bridge of the Hope. His team was preparing for another deep space mission. Sarah, now a senior officer, approached him. Sir, we're picking up strange signals from the Council's homeworld. Harper frowned. What kind of signals? It looks like they're fighting among themselves, Sarah said, surprise in her voice. On a distant planet, a group of aliens watched Earth broadcasts in secret. They saw humans rebuilding cities, advancing technology, and exploring space. One alien turned to the others. Maybe we were wrong about them. Maybe humans aren't the enemy. This sentiment was spreading across the galaxy. Many alien races, once afraid of the Council, now looked to Earth with a mix of fear and admiration. In the Council chambers, Zix-Zax made a decision. We will send an envoy to Earth. We must understand these humans better. The announcement sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Earth, once considered a backwater planet, was now forcing the mighty Galactic Council to the negotiating table. On Earth, preparations began for the alien envoy's arrival. It would be the first peaceful contact between humans and the Council. In New York, now home to a spaceport, Sarah walked through the busy streets. Aliens from friendly races now mixed with humans, exchanging ideas and culture. She smiled, remembering the dark days of the invasion. We've come so far, she thought. But not everyone was happy. In hidden bases, some humans argued for pushing the advantage, for conquering the galaxy as they had been nearly conquered. The president addressed these concerns in a global broadcast. We will not become what we fought against. We will show the galaxy a better way. As the day of the envoy's arrival approached, Earth held its breath. This meeting could determine the future of humanity in the galaxy. Zix-Zax prepared for the journey to Earth, feeling both dread and curiosity. How had these humans turned the tables so completely? What would they demand? In the depths of space, other forces watched and waited. Some saw opportunity in this conflict. Others feared the rise of a new power. The galaxy was changing. The old order was crumbling. And at the center of it all was Earth, a planet that had gone from near destruction to the cusp of galactic leadership in less than a year. As Zix-Zax's ship approached Earth, He looked out at the blue planet. "What are you?" he whispered. "And what will you become?" The Galactic Council's dilemma was clear. Fight this new power and risk everything, or embrace change and forge a new future. Either way, nothing would ever be the same. Earth, once a tiny dot in a vast galaxy, now held the future in its hands. The next few days would determine the fate of not just humanity, but of all sentient life in the stars. The stage was set. The galaxy watched, and Earth, against all odds, was ready to take its place in the cosmic drama. The day had finally arrived. Earth was about to host the Galactic Council for the first time. The world held its breath as Zix-Zax's ship entered Earth's atmosphere. In New York, now a shining example of human-alien cooperation, a special landing pad had been prepared. The president stood ready, flanked by world leaders and military commanders. Commander Jack Harper watched from nearby, his hand resting on his weapon. "I don't like this," he muttered to Sarah. "It could be a trap." Sarah nodded but remained hopeful. "Maybe. But it could also be our chance for real peace." As the alien ship landed, a hush fell over the crowd. The door opened, and Zix-Zax emerged, blinking in Earth's sunlight. The president stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth," he said, his voice firm but friendly. Zix-Zax bowed slightly. "Thank you for having us. We have much to discuss." Inside the United Nations building, now upgraded with alien tech, the negotiations began. Earth's demands were clear and bold. First, the president said, "Earth demands full membership in the Galactic Council, with all rights and privileges." Zix-Zax's four eyes widened. "That's unprecedented. You're so young as a spacefaring race." "Young, but clearly capable," Dr. Priya Patel interjected. "Or have you forgotten how quickly we adapted your technology?" The alien leader shifted uncomfortably. "What else do you demand?" The president continued. "Second, we want access to all galactic databases and technologies. No more secrets." This caused an uproar among the alien delegation. One shouted, "Impossible. You can't be trusted with such knowledge." Commander Harper stepped forward, his voice cold. "We weren't trusted to defend ourselves either. Look how that turned out for you." The room fell silent. The aliens remembered all too well their failed invasion. Third, the president went on, "Earth will lead a committee to reform the Galactic Council. We've seen how you treat lesser races. That ends now." Zix-Zax sputtered, "You can't. You don't understand galactic politics." Sarah, who had been quiet, spoke up. "Maybe that's exactly what the galaxy needs, a fresh perspective." As the negotiations continued, news spread across Earth and the galaxy. Some celebrated Earth's boldness. Others feared it. In a small town in Africa, people gathered around view screens. A child looked up at her mother. "Are we going to rule the galaxy now?" The mother smiled. "No, honey. We're going to help make it better for everyone." Back in the negotiation room, tensions were high. The aliens couldn't believe Earth's audacity. Humans couldn't believe they were dictating terms to advanced alien races. Zix-Zax finally spoke. "And if we refuse these demands?" The president's face hardened. "Then Earth will have no choice but to continue its expansion. We've proven we can take your outposts. Don't make us prove we can do more." It wasn't just a threat. It was Earth's ultimatum to the galaxy. In orbit, Earth's new fleet stood ready, a silent reminder of how far humanity had come. The alien leader looked out the window at the rebuilt city. He saw humans and friendly aliens working together, creating something new. "You've achieved so much in so little time," Zix-Zax said softly. "How?" Dr. Patel answered. "Because we had to. You gave us no choice but to surpass you." As the day wore on, the galaxy waited. Would there be peace or more war? Would Earth's ambitions unite the galaxy or tear it apart? In homes across the planet, families huddled together. In alien worlds, citizens wondered what human rule might mean. Commander Harper watched the aliens closely. Whatever happens, he thought, Earth will never be vulnerable again. As night fell, the negotiations reached a critical point. Earth had laid out its vision for a new galactic order. Now, it was up to the Council to respond. The President looked at Zix. The choice is yours. Partner with us in creating a better galaxy, or stand against the tide of change. Zix looked around the room, at the determined faces of the humans. He thought of the reports he'd read, of Earth's incredible progress. In that moment, he realized the Galactic Council's time of unquestioned rule was over. A new era was beginning, whether they liked it or not. Earth had given its ultimatum. The next few moments would decide the fate of the galaxy, and humanity, against all odds, was holding the cards. The room was silent. The galaxy held its breath, and the future hung in the balance, waiting for an answer. The silence in the negotiation room was deafening. Zix, the Galactic Council leader, looked at the determined faces of the Earth delegation. He took a deep breath. "We accept your terms," he said finally. The room erupted in a mix of cheers and gasps. The President shook Zix's hand, a historic moment captured by cameras and broadcast across the galaxy. Outside, crowds erupted in celebration. Humans and friendly aliens hugged each other, tears of joy in their eyes. In orbit, Commander Harper received the news on the Bridge of the Hope. He allowed himself a small smile. "Well done, Earth," he muttered. But not everyone was happy. On distant planets, some alien races feared what Earth's rise might mean. Secret meetings were held, alliances formed. Back on Earth, the work was just beginning. Dr. Priya Patel led a team into the alien ship, eager to access the galactic databases. "It's incredible," she breathed, looking at the vast array of knowledge before her. "We have so much to learn." In the following weeks, Earth underwent rapid changes. Schools began teaching alien languages and advanced sciences. Hospitals used new technologies to cure once incurable diseases. Sarah, now an ambassador, traveled to alien worlds. She marveled at the strange landscapes and cultures. "We're not so different after all," she thought. On a distant mining colony, aliens watched as human engineers introduced new, safer methods. One old miner turned to another. "Maybe this Earth rule won't be so bad," he said. But challenges remained. Some humans wanted to use their new power for revenge. Others feared losing Earth's culture in the vastness of the galaxy. The President addressed these concerns in a global broadcast. "We must remember who we are," he said. "We are explorers, innovators, and now we are guardians of a new galactic peace." In the Galactic Council chambers, now with humans as full members, debates were fierce but productive. Earth's fresh perspective was shaking things up. Zix, working closely with human delegates, found himself impressed. "They think differently," he told his aide. "It's refreshing." A year after the negotiations, Earth hosted the first Galactic Cultural Exchange Festival. Aliens from across the galaxy came to share their art, music, and ideas. In New York's Central Park, now home to plants from 100 worlds, a human child played with a young alien. Their laughter needed no translation. But dark clouds loomed. In the shadows of distant stars, those who resisted change plotted. They feared Earth's influence and longed for the old order. Commander Harper, ever vigilant, prepared Earth's defenses. "Peace is worth fighting for," he told his crew, "and we'll be ready if that fight comes." Dr. Patel made a breakthrough in faster-than-light travel, opening up new areas of the galaxy for exploration. Earth ships ventured further than ever before. As Earth's influence grew, so did its responsibilities. When a natural disaster struck an alien world, Earth led the relief efforts. Humans worked tirelessly alongside aliens, saving millions of lives. This act of kindness won over many who had been skeptical of Earth's rise. An alien leader, moved by the human selflessness, declared, "Perhaps this is why they were chosen to lead us into a new era." 5 years after the invasion that nearly ended humanity, Earth had become a beacon of hope in the galaxy. It wasn't always easy, and challenges remained, but the future looked brighter than ever. In the rebuilt White House, the president looked at a holographic map of the galaxy. Earth, once a tiny, ignorant speck, now shone brightly at the center of a new galactic order. "We've come so far," he mused, "but our journey is just beginning." As if in response, an alert chimed. A new, unknown signal from deep space, a mystery waiting to be solved. The president smiled. This was what humanity lived for. New challenges, new frontiers. Earth had not just survived, it had thrived. And now, united with new alien allies, it stood ready to face whatever the universe had in store. As night fell on Earth, its citizens looked up at the stars with wonder and pride. They were no longer just observers of the cosmic dance. They were active participants, shapers of galactic destiny. The galaxy would never be the same, and humanity, once on the brink of extinction, now led the way into a bright, uncertain, but thrilling future. The end, or perhaps just the beginning of Earth's greatest adventure.